experts say South Africa is losing skilled workers, sparking a wave of concern among some of the biggest companies in the country. We discussed this immigration exodus of highly trained workers that is creating a brain drain in South Africa. I'm joined by Victoria Lancefield, Head of Financial Emigration at ExpatWeb. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So perhaps let's start with some of the reasons why people want to leave the country.
They're varied. However, for the skilled task force, I think there are a lot more competitive packages and opportunities that come in different countries. It is a case by case because we do see a very demographic leaving for different reasons. However, the skilled brain drain is happening and unfortunately leaving us looking elsewhere to bring in skilled workers.
I want to get into this vacuum that is then left at the moment, but you mentioned demographics. Please talk us through those.
So it's actually a varied, from young professionals through to, long-term experience, to highly skilled, to, health workers, everything. It's quite a demographic. We do see a lot of families being immigrating for the normal reasons of they wanted better opportunities for their kids and all of that. However, we are seeing a trend in young professionals that are going to countries where the income tax rate is a lot better, so that they can afford their lives a little bit better and start saving and building.
So we're becoming economic migrants, if you will. I mean, are we talking about people leaving rather in droves, or is it just, a trickle sort of like process, if you will? It's
been a constant for the last decade or two. However, I think with COVID, it's increased the want and the need. We know our economy took a hit during COVID, so people are, they want to look elsewhere, and if the packages are more attractive, they will. However, it's the ones that have the skills that usually get the visas, unless they have their own passports from a different or citizenship somewhere else. But it is quite a mass exodus, I'd say.
Yeah. What skills are leaving, and what kind of a hole is then left?
So again, varied. However, health workers, economic professionals, legal, all sorts. But it's the experts of the experts that are also leaving, and we're not receiving the training behind. There hasn't been time to upskill everyone. So we are looking. There are a lot of people coming from other countries to South Africa. It's a global need for skills, actually, at the moment with COVID and a lot of economies being hit. But it's a bit more difficult for them coming this way, I think, in terms of the packages we're offering. But it is an attractive place for people to come. But it's not as attractive, I guess, as our people leaving.
Right. And where are these places that our people are attracted to? Where are they going?
Yeah. So the main ones we used to see in the last few decades was Australia, UK, New Zealand, I think because of the language and the similarity to South African culture. However, in the last 5 years odd, we're seeing many in the UAE, the Middle East, because the income tax they don't get taxed on income, they get taxed in other ways. They're also looking greatly for skills, so there's constant job offers that side. We're also seeing a lot in the Netherlands, the UK, the Cayman Islands, even Asia, Singapore. South Africans are pretty much everywhere at the moment.
Pretty much everywhere at the moment. What does it take, for a family, for instance, you mentioned some families up and leave, in terms of the process to actually get to the other side?
Yeah. So it depends on each person's situation. However, the first step is to make sure you either have a job offer or a visa, because it's easier to get a visa with a job offer, or if you've got citizenship or residency first as well, that helps. And then from there, it's from little things of, will I be moving furniture or pets, or I need to find school for my kids. But the main thing we find that they need to consider is their tax implications as well. People often forget that. So it's the last thing on their mind when they're moving their entire life. So it is a vital thing they need to consider. So that would be almost preferable if they do it before they leave. However, it's possible to help them out after they've left as well. But they must consider it.
Is there an appeal on the continent in terms of people wanting to get into the rest of the continent instead of, leaving for Europe?
Absolutely. We actually have a ton of rotational workers even that go, from Zambia to Kenya to the DRC, Cote d'Ivoire as well. There's plenty of opportunities that side in terms of the mining sector and all those, logistics sectors. There's definitely a lot more opportunities in Africa than there used to be at the moment. So it is as well leaving from South Africa to Africa.
That's very encouraging. I'm quite impressed with that. But would you encourage somebody that does not have a job offer to leave? When you're an economic migrant, you are pushed by poverty or lack or not enough.
Yeah, in some instances it also pushes you back a few years, they say. However, I think with the the world trend of the economies and people, the global need for skill, it's taken a different level. So there are many ways to do it. It's just you need to be smart about it and tick all the boxes and make sure you are thinking of every aspect, because there's many tax implications, visa implications, depending all on your personal situation. So it's best to always speak to a professional to outweigh the options, because the package might be very, the benefits they give you, everything, it might be very favorable. However, what you'd be losing tax-wise might not be so favorable. So there's many things to consider when you're looking into this.
One can only imagine. You definitely need help. You can't do it alone. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.